All right, President Trump will reportedly meet with tech CEOs at the White House today to discuss the tariffs as Canada gets ready to elect a new leader.
Yeah, it looks like they got one. Mark Meredith is at the White House. Mark.
Brian, Ainsley, and Lawrence, good morning, friends. The White House is facing growing questions from economists, business owners, even voters about the impact of tariffs on the economy here and abroad. Today, trade expected to be top of mind as the president sits down with multiple tech CEOs. Among those expected to be here today, the heads of IBM, Qualcomm, HP, and Intel. Overnight, China officially imposed tariffs on many foreign products coming from the United States, the latest sign of a trade war growing larger by the day. The president still insists his decision to impose tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico will pay off.
I think the tariffs are going to be the greatest thing we've ever done as a country. It's going to make our country rich again. We have many companies, as you know, auto companies are opening up plants now. We've had 4 or 5 announced already, but many more are coming. And we're basically going to take back the money, a lot of the money that we've given away over many decades. We've lost our jobs, we've lost our factories.
Meantime, Canada has a new leader. Liberal Party members choosing Mark Carney as new prime minister. He's vowed to stand up to Trump over past comments that Canada should join the United States as the 51st state.
America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Certainly a lot of attention to our neighbors in the north. We'll be looking to see how President Trump may respond a little bit later on today. It is a big change for Canada, as Justin Trudeau had served as prime minister, guys, going back for 9 years. So a big change up north. Brian, Ainsley, and Lawrence?
So Mark, this guy finishes out Trudeau's term. Then they have an election, right? Is that the way the parliamentary system works?
Well, and the Liberal Party is certainly feeling emboldened. Obviously, they decided to move past Trudeau, but they're feeling a little bit more emboldened after some of the back and forth with the United States. But whether or not Carney's speech, like we just saw from Ottawa, would really kind of rally his base there, or would it be something where it just kind of continues this back and forth with potential tariffs and trade that could create more problems for Canadians and Americans is what we have to watch.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. He said that Canada will never be a part of America in any way, shape, or form, because we've heard President Trump say it should be the 51st state. He used to call Trudeau Governor Trudeau. But this guy, the liberal guy, he received 86% of the votes.
Well, there's a lot of tough talk going on. But when it comes to the trading partnership, they really cannot survive without the United States. So the rhetoric is fine, I guess, if you want to rally your people, but then you're going to have to tell them, help the people, or at least explain to the people on how they're going to overcome when they get hit with this massive tariff.
So the one thing is the tariffs are rocking the market. There's no question about it. Donald Trump, when he first took over, the stock market rallied in 2016 of 5.7% by this point. But because of the tariffs going back and forth and the lack of predictability, now it looks like they're on the negative growth side. Since inauguration, the market's only up 1.6% after the initial rally. So Obama was down 20%, but that was after the collapse of 28. So getting some stability, whatever the president's going to do with tariffs, I think the up and down, the threading, the pushing back of the barriers, the market hates it. And I just think that if we just pick a lane, whatever it is, we could deal with it, because his overall approach, I think Americans get behind. We don't manufacture things. How do we bring it back? Make it economically profitable to come back here. Make these companies build here, 0 tariffs. Then if you're going to bring your company here, down to 15% corporate tax instead of paying up in the 20s. So make people want to build things here, like Honda, like that tech company from Taiwan, the chip company from Taiwan. That's the overall goal. And you know who appreciates it? One of Donald Trump's biggest critics. He spoke at the DNC and how bad Donald Trump was. But he is somebody who is pro-tariff, because he sees the objective. Listen to what he said on ABC's Sunday show.
It's simple for us. Look, we're in a crisis mode in this country. You know, there is no single issue in this country that has affected our economy and working class people and their jobs than NAFTA, the USMCA, and our trade laws, our broken trade system. And we're in a crisis mode. And, you know, we are triaging right now. So I hear this debate about, blanket tariffs and all this stuff. But look, we're in a triage situation. Tariffs are an attempt to stop the bleeding from the hemorrhaging of jobs in America for the last 33 years.
Of course, it's pro-worker policy that the president is doing when it comes to the tariffs. Look, I know the market is going crazy right now because of the uncertainty, but I think you got to let it roll with it for a second. And the reason why I say you roll with it for a second is because we know what happened in the first administration that he had. You had, when he passed the tariffs, when it came to inflation, was virtually at zero. So I say give the president some latitude here. I think the second thing, Ainsley, is they haven't passed the tax cuts yet. I think if the American people had the tax cut with the tariff policy, there would be less frantic.
Yeah, I think the president has said there's going to be a transition period, and it's going to be in the very beginning. He said, I like to get things done in the very beginning, probably because he anticipates that it's going to take some time to bring business back to America. And he's waiting on, a few years into his administration to see the economy grow again. And so he's just basically saying, give me some time to bring wealth back to America. I know that they want to apply, he's working with Elon to apply the business model, business management to our federal government, so that these companies the government will be subservient to these companies instead of the other way around. And so there's a method to their madness. And he's just saying, be patient with me. So I agree with you. I think.
Give them some room.
I think there's two things. Don't forget, the reason why the tariffs went on Mexico and Canada is fentanyl.
Yes.
And that's, this is about drugs.
About saving lives.
Mexico made some big improvements. Mexico made some huge improvements. We've seen it. They also are playing a role in the lack of traffic at our southern border. And then you see some gains over with Canada, too. And then we get to the whole reciprocal tariff thing. And the goal is, okay, so you're at 20% and you're at 25%. I'm going to tariff you the same way. You know what he hopes?
Yep.
You go to 15 and you go to 20. So he hopes you drop them because I'm going to do whatever you do. So this way you're dropping the tariffs and we all win.
It's surprising that it wasn't already done. These are supposed to be our partners, but they're